martial arts when I was like 4 in Taekwondo only because that was the only thing available in 1984 and where I was. So did Taekwondo for a while, moved into karate, sport karate, kickboxing, boxing, and then finally found Jiu Jitsu back in 2001. Started doing Army combatives also through the military.
The analogy that I like to use with my students who are just starting is the movie analogy, and I've said this many times. If I'm gonna watch a really good movie, I want the lights down low, I've got the subtitles on, I don't want my kids running around in the house, I wanna pay attention and really soak it in. I'm not just gonna hit fast forward on the movie to try and race to the end because I'm gonna miss everything. So really slow down, and no matter how slow you think you've already slowed down, get even slower.
I mean, that's a great question. What keeps me coming back? Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but honestly, like, on a real note, it's just to like be here for a longer time, making myself healthier. I don't know, it feels like I signed a contract with myself the first time I walked through that door, so I gotta stick to it, you know? It's permanent commitment from now on.
I don't know, I feel like now my Instagram feed is nothing but like jiu-jitsu videos. So like that's one way that it's impacted my life. I feel like now I'm getting more involved with like wanting to learn new things, and like if I haven't really gotten bold enough to the point where it's like I see something that, you know, is done like on UFC or one championship or at like, you know, a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I take that to class, I know I can be like, hey, like I saw this, like can we work that into like the schedule? And I feel like all of the professors are open to like hearing like what their students want to learn. Granted, they're always going to be like, that's too advanced for you, like your white belt, no stripes, like we got to get you there. But you know, I feel like they're really real about just setting those expectations.
I joined because of my favorite uncle started doing it, and it just seemed fun on TikTok and stuff, so I just tried it out and it seemed better every day.
But the amount of friends that I made, and I really wasn't even thinking it would be as like social kind of thing like that, but I have so much respect for my teammates. They're all professional and dedicated. I really admire the people that I've been training with, and so I hope to develop those relationships even more.
Our ladies program actually kind of stemmed from being again in a very male-dominated sport, and not too many females join doing what we do here, and the community that it brings. I wanted to have that expanded to more females because it is such a family team atmosphere that I knew a lot of women would definitely benefit from the same thing that we have for here, and I wanted them to be able to feel the confidence to walk on the streets, to feel even just confident in their own skin. What we do here is I have a ladies only class designed to have preferably no males attending, so it is strictly ladies, sorry men, to be able to feel comfortable in their own skin, to feel comfortable walking into a gym that is extremely, you know, very high testosterone in here, and to be able to learn jiu-jitsu without maybe the strength of another person, you know, kind of bombarding them, and having an open space to be able to explore jiu-jitsu. Women do jiu-jitsu extremely different than men. I'm sorry, we're more flexible. We are just able to work through moves a little bit differently than guys. And so to be able to offer that to other ladies and explore how much farther we can take our own jiu-jitsu because our bodies are different is something that I totally love doing. Here I do a class, we do warm-ups, we do a little bit of HIIT workout, we go through some drills and learn different moves each week.
Jiu-Jitsu has given me so much patience because I know no matter how good I get at this or how much less I suck, that I have to be patient and trust the process. It's taught me to be comfortable in bad situations. It's taught me to slow down. It's humbled me, but it's also given me self-confidence. And I feel like in life, there's a fine line between like being arrogant and being self-confident, being too hard on yourself and having good humility. So I'm trying to find that balance right there. And jiu-jitsu, that's what it does for me in every aspect of my life.
Wow, I like rolling jiu-jitsu. I mean, my husband's the one who got me into it, so I feel like I continue rolling because it pushes me physically, mentally, but it also like forms a stronger bond with my husband and I. I feel like since we've been training these pretty much for all of 2025 is when I started, it's just kind of evolved into like a weekend ritual. Like he goes like during the week, but it's like my job's too crazy, so I'm like the weekender.
So I kind of have the same approach in all of my teaching, which is really slowing things down, keeping things really, really simple and clear communication. There's so many details in jiu-jitsu that if you just gloss over everything, you're gonna miss it. Professor Seth is the one who really got me dialed in when I started jiu-jitsu. I came in here like a crazy man, going as fast as I could, trying to submit him. And I remember he just stopped me one day when I was in his closed guard. He's like, "Why are you going so fast?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm trying to beat you." He's like, "Well, number one, that's not gonna happen. And number two, you're gonna miss everything." So the way that I like to teach things is in kind of small bite-sized pieces. And I like to think about the mechanics that go behind it, the details, and the why we're doing things.
It really is for everybody. You know, it's not just for the UFC fighter. It's for the, you know, it's for the dad, like I said, that his kids are doing jiu-jitsu because, you know, martial arts helps out with their grades and their respect and their behavior and all these other things, and he wants to lead by example, so he's going and doing it also. You know, you are gonna have people that are hunting a different objective with their jiu-jitsu, maybe with competition or fighting or something like that. And so you would think, I'm not gonna go train with them, but everybody pretty easily in the room is able to train in a safe manner. Probably the most important question that I asked people the first time I meet them is, why do you want to do jiu-jitsu and what are you trying to get from jiu-jitsu? Because jiu-jitsu is like a fingerprint. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own identity in their jiu-jitsu and how it affects them and what it is for them. You know, we have our UFC fighters that are fighting for that gold belt around their belt, and they're 100% thinking sport and winning, and this being the, you know, way for their financial freedom or whatever it is, or how to, you know, make their income or get to a status in their life. And then you got your dad that wants to do it because his kids are doing it and he just wants to show face, or your dad that maybe wants to make sure that if there's an intruder at night, or if they end up in an altercation at a restaurant, he's able to defend his family. You know, we have our law enforcement officers that want to be able to gain control of a suspect without them, not only themselves being injured, but the suspect being injured. You know, just minimizing collateral damage in so many different ways. So I think that, again, that being one of the most important questions I ask is, what is it for you and what are you trying to get out of it? Because it's so different from everybody that comes in. I think commonly, and the most common, is people in this day and age just want to simply feel safe, secure, and confident in being able to be safe and secure anywhere we are. It's been proven so much time after time over the last 10, 20 years that anywhere you go, something can happen, where it's nice to be able to defend yourself and have the wherewithal to stay calm in those sort of situations.
I decided to get started in jiu-jitsu. I had a cousin actually who was a black belt, and I saw him and his son doing it. His son was probably 5 at the time, and it kind of piqued my interest. However, being a female looking into a very male-dominated sport, it was extremely intimidating. And so I just sat back and watched for many years, actually. And during COVID actually is the time that I decided to kind of start taking a look at it. I came in and, you know, took a look around the place, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I don't know if it's for me though. And so just kept driving by the place, and then one day I just came in. I wanted my girls to do jiu-jitsu with me. At the time they were, my gosh, 7 and 8. And then I wanted them to be those strong, independent girls and do this before dance or ballet. And then we came and became hooked. Been doing it for 5 years now.
I'm just trying to become a little bit better every time I come in. For me, the practice of Jiu Jitsu, the physical aspect is very important to me. Obviously, I like keeping my body moving, but a lot of it is the intellectual and the spiritual for me. I'm a person who's in recovery from alcohol and substance abuse disorder. So when I got clean and sober, I lost a lot of what I would call my friends, but I found my real people here on the mat.
So I feel like that's what makes it special, because when really difficult things in the beginning start to click, you realize like maybe I was just overthinking it. So it's kind of like opening up your mind to a whole different concept. So for me personally, that just like really makes me feel better as a human overall, because I can be a better like husband when it comes to critical thinking, better father whenever that happens, you know, even a better friend.
It took a while to identify how many different ways, but you know, we all know that we're different learners. We all know that certain senses are, you know, more prevalent or used more by certain people, and the quicker I can learn how somebody thrives in their personal learning is trying to make sure that I cue in with them if I see that confused face, like, hey, I know you learn better from me putting my hands on you and us doing it together. Or when you look confused, I know if I go over and I talk you through it a whole bunch of times and you're doing it yourself, you learn better. But it takes a little bit to get that with that or find that, what that is for each student. But I think the more students I go through, obviously, the quicker I can find that. But once you find that, it's not hard. That really is it. It's not trying to teach everybody like it's a cookie cutter. There's nothing about Jiu Jitsu that's a cookie cutter. That's kind of the beauty of martial art, is what Jiu Jitsu looked like 100 years ago is not what it looked like now, because Jiu Jitsu is based on what works and constantly evolving and getting better. And with that being said, like, I have to constantly be evolving with the student too. What works better, what gets them to becoming more proficient in a shorter amount of time. You know, I think the easiest way is legitimately just walk in and sit down and not leave until something's happened. You know, it's so hard to walk in the door, but you know, just like going to the gym, you don't get in shape to go to the gym. You go to the gym to get in shape. You don't go, and this is a gym also, you don't need to get in shape to come here. You come here to get in shape. You come here to learn Jiu-Jitsu. You know, if you go into an academy in day one, you're training with the comp team going at 100% and are getting, you know, all your joints locked out and cranked and twisted, and everybody's, you know, bleeding everywhere, you might not be at a safe place, okay? But common sense should kick in and say, clearly this is not the place for me, or it is the place for you if that's what you're seeking, which is fine too. But you know, when you first come in, there's a progression in Jiu-Jitsu, just like the, you know, crawling, walking, running. When you're a baby, there's a progression of drilling individual techniques with little resistance, increased resistance more and more, to where we're doing sequence drilling, to where we're live training scenarios with all of this before you ever get to live training, which is what everybody envisions is happening 24/7 in the academy when they walk in, and it's really not. If we did that from day one, nobody would ever make it.